So my name is Shanaya. I'm a junior at Irvine High School in Irvine, California. And the topic that I chose was overcoming therapeutic resistance in IDH mutant gliomas, and specifically diving into the mechanisms and emerging strategies. So for my introduction, the topic that I chose was IDH mutant gliomas, and IDH mutant gliomas are a subset of brain tumors, and they're characterized by mutations in the IDH enzyme. And while they initially respond to treatment well, they eventually develop some resistance, and which reduces the effectiveness of standard therapies, which I'll be covering. And for my research questions, I'm focusing on the molecular mechanisms behind therapeutic resistance in IDH mutant gliomas, and then what are the emerging strategies aimed at overcoming this resistance? So I said that I'm focusing on the IDH mutant gliomas, and IDH mutant differs from its IDH wild type because of the mutation that occurs, and wild type is like the non-mutated cell, and most gliomas result from IDH mutations. And then current research that is going on is metabolic programming, which I'll elaborate more in my methodology, and then combination therapies. So for combination therapies, recent studies have been emphasizing the need for combination therapies because of the resistance in IDH mutant gliomas, and therapies target both the metabolic pathways and the immune suppression to overcome this resistance. And then areas of weakness in my literature review was that although there were clinical trials, they were not very long term, and they didn't really target what I was trying to understand about the metabolic pathways and the tumor microenvironment. So in my methodology and results, so for my data collection, I just collected studies that investigated the molecular changes in IDH mutant gliomas, and I focused on the metabolic shifts, the epigenetic alterations, and the changes in the tumor microenvironment, and how those three contributed to the resistance. So I started my literature search by reviewing studies from 2015 to 2023, and then I kind of narrowed it down to molecular mechanisms and then preclinical and clinical studies. And then I went to my data analysis and focused on metabolic reprogramming, epigenetic changes, and immune evasion. And then finally, for my synthesis, I talked about my findings on resistance mechanisms and emerging strategies. So after my review, I found my main findings were metabolic programming, which involves IDH mutations altering the cellular metabolism, specifically the production of 2-HG, which is 2-hydroxyglutarate, and 2-HG impairs DNA repair, and it contributes to the treatment resistance. And then as for epigenetic changes, IDH mutations cause widespread epigenetic modifications, which result in gene expression, which also results in the resistance to standard therapies. And then finally, for the tumor microenvironment, there were changes in the tumor microenvironment such as hypoxia and immune suppression, and increasingly recognized as contributing factors to resistance, which made them key targets for future therapeutic approaches. And then for my conclusion, restating my research aim, I aim to investigate the mechanisms of therapeutic resistance in IDH mutant gliomas and to explore the emerging strategies to overcome this challenge. And then for contributions, I highlighted the complex interactions between metabolism, epigenetics, and the tumor microenvironment in driving this therapeutic resistance. And then as for my limitations, as I mentioned earlier, for the clinical studies that have not been large scale yet, and also I didn't conduct a hands-on research, so I would say that was also a limitation. And yeah, thank you.
Good job, Shanaya. A question from Dr. Prahlad.
Yeah. Hi, good job, Sunil, and good presentation. So, in your research, there are the different resistance mechanisms. Anything stood out that could be like targeted by therapy, by drugs or immunotherapy, something?
I guess mainly like targeting the metabolic pathways and like the markers. I feel like majority of the clinical studies that I was researching focused on that because I feel like that was the most effective way since the IDH mutant gliomas developed a resistance to radiation and chemotherapy mainly.
Excellent. Yeah, great job. Congratulations.
Yeah, great job, Shanaya.